there, and welcome to Amore with Allie. This once a week 30-minute show. No, try it again. Well, hello there, and welcome to Amore with Allie. This once a week 30-minute show covers love and romance topics with a metaphysical twist. In case you don't know who I am, I'm a sex and relationship expert who's the creator of out-of-body ecstasy. It's a personal energy method using dreams, telepathy, and astral to enhance your sex life or your romantic life, no matter if you're in a relationship or if you're flying solo. Before, I was the sexpert for the L Word online world in Second Life. Now, besides this show, I do a live show on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time called the Allie Theiss Show. It's on Blog Talk. And on Sundays, I do a live show from 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Blog Talk called The Passion Zone. And The Passion Zone is all about sex and sexual topics. So that's kind of more of an R-rated one as compared to this one and the Allie Theiss Show. There we go. Now, to find out more about me and what I do, you can visit my website at allietheiss.com. You can find me on Twitter at Allie Theiss, one word, or you can find me on Facebook at Allie Theiss Friends. And just a note on Facebook, which then switches over to Twitter, that's where I put all my announcements and my weekly specials. So if you want a deal on the things I offer, you're going to want to either be my friend on Facebook or my Twitter buddy on, well, Twitter. So, now, last week we did an affirmation, and it was, I'm a magnet for fulfillment, abundance, and faith. I hope you guys said it. If you missed last week's show, please stop by either YouTube, where you might be watching it, the website, or on agelessknowledge.com. It's in all three places, so you're bound to find me someplace. And watch the show and learn that affirmation, I'm a magnet for fulfillment, abundance, and faith. And at the end of this show, I will give you another affirmation to say. And I'm big on affirmations, huge on affirmations. And in fact, Holly, Vincent, and I talked about affirmations on the Allie Theiss Show this past Tuesday, which would have been, what, October 30th. So take a look at that if you want to hear what we said. Now, speaking of October 30th, reminds me of the 29th and then the weekend preceding. I want to say a shout out to everybody affected by that superstorm Sandy. I mean, I was in Ohio and we had enough wind and enough rain to last me probably my entire life. But I know lots of people on the East Coast, plenty of people in Jersey and New York City who've been greatly affected by Sandy, and I'm thinking about you. Lots of love, lots of prayers, lots of thoughts coming your way. And also for those in West Virginia. You know, we've been focusing so much on the water damage and the wind damage of New York and Jersey that we have forgotten about West Virginia, who was on the other side of Sandy, who got plummeted with a whole bunch of snow, and they weren't prepared for it. So my heart goes out to you too, and lots of love and wishes and prayers. And everyone, keep everybody there in your thoughts, because they could sure use our support. Now, also speaking of support, let's talk about some classes, shall we? On November 12th, I'm going to be talking about dream sex. November 17th is the virtual romance party. I canceled the one that I had this past Saturday because I had to put my cat Samantha down, and quite frankly, I just wasn't in the mood to be festive. It wasn't a good time. So I canceled last Saturday, and again, the next one is November 17th. What happens is I talk about different adult-themed items and tell you about them and give you guys a coupon. If you want to go purchase them from thepassionzone.com, feel free to. If you don't want to purchase, that's fine too. Doesn't matter either way. It's more of an educational party with some games and prizes than me trying to sell you something. But of course, I will never say no if you decide to buy. Now, the 26th, I have the Advanced Magic class going on at allietheiss.com. Now, the Advanced Magic class, it's important that you're already schooled in magic and how to cast spells, incantations, how to do incense and mix oils and all of that. Because the webinar takes you a step higher and has you casting magic on the astral plane. So you have to know the basics in order to be proficient in the astral plane. So if you do already know magic, please join me on November 26th for the Advanced Love Magic webinar. It'll be fun. Honest. I haven't done a brand new magic webinar in, God, the last time I wrote my Gypsy Magic book, I think the last one was written 2008, which would have been the last time I developed a new webinar. So, yay! This is going to be fun. I hope you join me. Now let us scroll down here. I wish I could remember everything and didn't have to keep notes, but I can't. The winner. Yes. Now remember, when you guys send me a question in to Amore with Allie, you're put in the hopper to get a free reading with yours truly. And the free reading can be either a paragraph or two that I send you. You can do it via email, or we can do it via IM chat. One of the two. It's fantastic. It's free. And I'd like to announce October's winner is initials Theiss. And if you're watching, email me at amore@aegis.com and we'll get that set up. And Theiss, I believe you probably know how to find me because you sent in a question. I'm easily found. Okay, so congratulations. Yay. Golfer's clap. Quote of the week. This was once said by Albert Einstein, and I thought it was fitting for today's show. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. And if Albert Einstein thought everything could be made out of everything is made out of energy, and if you match vibrations, things happen, people tend to listen to Albert Einstein, even though he's been gone for a while. So that's the quote of the day, or week, actually. And I apologize if I seem more scatterbrained than normal. Since I did have to put Samantha down on Saturday, I've noticed that I am much more scatterbrained, leaving stuff where I shouldn't leave it, leaving things on I shouldn't leave on. I don't mean to, but I don't think my brain is functioning at 150% like it normally is. So I'm forgetting little things. So if I seem scatterbrained, that's why. Now, let's go to our first viewer's question. This is, the initials are MA and NM. If I don't have my glasses on, and the font's kind of small. I didn't enlarge it. The question. Most of our exchange are basically hi and bye, and I'm too scared to even start a conversation for the fear that I may come off too strong or too desperate. From what the exchanges I've had with him, he seems very nice. Is there potential there to progress into something more, or should I let it be? It can progress into something more. He likes you like you like him. But it's a caution here, because you two are together in a work environment as opposed to, meeting him someplace out and about. If you two decide to pursue this and it goes great, and at some point in time it goes south, you two will still have to see each other. I personally before I started working for myself, I always made a do not date whom you work with rule. Because eventually, everything always ends. Everything always does, whether it's a bad breakup, a mutual breakup, a divorce, a death. Eventually, everything ends. So you need to think about that if you get in a relationship with this person, what happens if it ends and you two are still working in the same place. So, but he does like you too. So that's nice. That's always good to know. So caution, you're an adult, do what you like, but still caution. Now, topic of the week. I love talking about telepathic sex. I could talk about sex all the time. Since seeing I'm a sex coach, it's what I do. But telepathic sex, astral sex, and dream sex, I love talking about this stuff. And out of the 3 OBE sexual methods, telepathic sex is the easiest to learn and master. Why? Because telepathic sex, you're wide awake. You're conscious. Your brain's functioning normally. You're wide awake, and you tend to retain things much better. Dreaming, obviously, we all know how difficult it can be to recall our dreams. And astral travel, if you astral travel a lot, it's often extremely difficult to remember your astral travels. So telepathic sex, with the telepathic connection, you remember everything, which is fabulous. Now, I have been looking for quite some time on a good book for a telepathic connection. And just talking about telepathy, not intertwining anything else in there, just telepathy. And I can't find one. I've never been able to find one on telepathic. I found one called Dream Telepathy, written back in the 30s. And it did deal more with dreams than actual telepathic connection being awake, but at least it talked about it somewhat. But I haven't been able to find anything good since then. If you guys ever come across a book, a good book on telepathic connections, let me know. Email me, amore@agelessknowledge.com. Let me know the book, because I would love to check it out. People seem to come to me, find me when they put in a telepathic sex or telepathic connection, because I'm the one who seems to talk about it all the time. And I do know what I'm doing. So I guess I'm considered an expert in that field, and people show up. And I say show up to the website, not necessarily show up on my doorstep. So telepathic sex, first you have to make a connection to a person. Once you make the connection to a person, everything else is quite easy. You use your imagination, and you go through the steps of a sexual act, whether it's kissing, fondling, a full makeout section, sexual intercourse, oral sex. It can all be done via telepathic. Now, the trick is to be able to connect telepathically to somebody. And there's not just one way to do it. I have several ways that I teach people how to do it, but my several ways, they cannot be the only way. I don't believe there's ever an only way to do something. There's always someplace, some way else. So the easiest way that you first want to make a telepathic connection, and my guy Joshua said, hey, you skipped a step. Thankfully he's here. What step did I skip? Okay. He says telepathic connection. How does it work? How does telepathic sex work? Energy bodies. Now, for most of you who are into metaphysical topics and energy healing, you know that over our physical body we have different energy layers, and what happens to our energy layers also happens to our physical body. That's why energy healers do their work. That's why it works, what they do, because when your energy fields are affected, your physical body responds to the changed energy. So when you connect telepathically or dream or astral in an OBE connection, what you do with each other's energy, whether kissing, fondling, whatnot, what you do with the energy, the physical body corresponds. It has a reaction to the energy. So if somebody is kissing you, your physical body may not feel like an on and on kiss, but you feel like a tingling on the lips or a pressure on the lips. Something, you feel something. Okay, so that's why people happen to like telepathic sex. And it's also a great foreplay material for you if you're in a relationship. When you get home from work or from school or just a busy day, it's hard to have time to really have enough foreplay and to enter into sexual interactions. We're busy, we're tired. A lot of people are normally irritated, and all they want to do is go to bed, even though they love the person they're with and they would like to be physical with them. If you start connecting telepathically throughout the day, little bits here and there, that by the time you two get home, there's already that sexual sizzle under the radar, so to speak. So you're already kind of turned on by the time you see one another, and physical foreplay at home won't be as long. So you save time. You won't be as tired for sexual interactions if you start before you get home. Okay? Okay, so back to the connections. Now that Josh was happy that I said all that, back to the connections. With a connection, as I said, there's several ways to do it. One of the best ways I have found, and the easiest, okay, is first you want to imagine your target person, whoever that person may be. And it's important that you keep in mind that when you connect to somebody telepathically, you have to know them. If you have never met George Clooney, you cannot connect to George Clooney. Okay? So don't try. It's invasive, it's rude, and it's just not going to happen. So pick somebody you know. Okay? And imagine them in your, I guess in your third eye. Use your imagination. We all of us have great imaginations. We do. Admit it. So imagine the person as vividly as you can. You can close your eyes if you want to. Close your eyes. Imagine the person as vividly as you can. What they look like, hair color, eye color, skin color, what they may be wearing. If they wear any specific cologne or perfume, see if you can sense that as well. Once you have that image of them, branch out a bit and see their surroundings. You might not know exactly where they're at, but picture them where you think they are. Whether it's a college campus, sitting at their desk, driving in the car, standing in the grocery line. So imagine them in that location. Now once you have the location somewhat vivid, but the person extra sharply vivid in your mind's eye. Then you imagine yourself, and you have all over you have this brilliant white light. Brilliant. You're glowing. Think pregnancy glow. You're glowing. And you send that glowing light. You're thinking about this. You're imagining it. You're imagining you're shooting it out to the target person, and you're wrapping them in that bubble too. So you and the target person are in this big, brilliant white light bubble. Make sense? Okay. Now, once you have that, once you can vividly imagine all of this, then you'll be connected. Once you are connected, then you can imagine yourself kissing them, imagine yourself fondling them, imagine whatever you want to do. Kiss them on the neck, rub their shoulders, tickle them. You know, it doesn't matter what you do, but at first you want to keep it short and sweet. This takes practice. You can't be full one-on-one with the whole enchilada right out the door. It doesn't work that way. Practice. So do something short and sweet, and then when you're done, when you first start out, the connection will probably break on its own. But if you want to break the connection, just take the bubble off of them, basically, and snap it back. Now, how do you know you're connected to them as opposed to just a great fantasy? There's a few things that will happen. One, your solar plexus. See, I told you, forgetting things. Solar plexus, which is 2 inches above the belly button, that chakra will tingle, it'll vibrate, it might tickle a little bit, you might feel a bit of pressure, but something will be different. That's your communication center. And if something's going on there, then that means you're connected. If you don't feel that, you may feel lightheaded, you may feel nauseated, you may get a headache, you may, I don't know how to put this, you may feel like you're in woo-woo land, very high as a kite, without any drug interaction actually happening. Some people shake, some people sweat a lot, some people do a lot of the above. Everybody is different on how they react to it. Key is something will be different when you connect. Something will change physically in your body. You will feel something differently. That's how you know it's an actual telepathic connection as opposed to a great fantasy. Now, I can hear somebody asking me, does the other person know what I'm doing? They will feel something. They will feel a tingle on their lips if you're kissing. They will feel pressure on their breasts if you're caressing. Their neck might tingle if you're kissing their neck. If you're, oral sex, they'll feel some tingling in the groin area. They may not know exactly what's going on, okay? They may not know exactly that it is you, especially if you two aren't an actual couple, but they will know something is different, and they will feel sexually turned on. So they will know, but they might not know exactly it is you or what's happening. Okay, but again, you're manipulating their energy with people you know, okay? Manipulating their energy, and their physical body is responding to the change in their energy. Got it? Okay. If you have questions, visit the website, Theiss.com. I've got lots of things on there about telepathic sex that can help you out. And I also have, I always forget to mention, I have I call it a DIY, do-it-yourself lesson plan for OBE sex. It covers dream, astral, and telepathy. You know, it gives you step-by-step on what to do. So stop by the site for that if you would also like that. Okay, so that's telepathic sex. I love telepathic sex. I do. So, viewer question next. Now, if you want to send me a question, please send me one at Amore@agelessknowledge.com. I need your initials. If there's anybody else involved in it, I need their initials and then the question. That's it. I don't need to know birthdays. I don't need to know actual names. I will not contact you. You will not hear from me. You will not end up on my newsletter list accidentally. The only way you're going to hear back from me if you send me a question is if you win the reading. That's it. Otherwise, you won't hear. Now, the next question here is from HK, and they're right. I've been waiting, and oh yes, waiting for the right woman to come along, but she hasn't. I'm in my 40s, and I'm wondering, am I doomed to be alone? The part that troubles me about that entire question is the fact that you've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. What have you been doing during the wait? Have you literally been waiting, as in not actively pursuing dating women or men? Either or. Have you not been actively pursuing somebody to date? Have you just been superficially connecting to people and not allowing them to know you more, or you know them more? I mean, it's the wait part is what troubles me. None of us is an island. We're not meant to be alone as an island. We're meant to be connected to the universe as a whole and also to another person for a romantic encounter. Now, this important romantic encounter can span a year and it can span 75. It all depends. So you need to get out there and do things to meet this person. You're not supposed to be alone for the rest of your natural life. You're supposed to meet that person and fall in love and be together in a monogamous relationship. But in order to meet that person, you have to progress through different steps of learning. And you progress those different steps of learning by dating other people and getting out there. Every person you date, no matter how inconsequential the date may be, if the relationship doesn't go anywhere really, it makes some sort of impression and you grow that much more because you were involved with the person. So when I hear somebody sitting around waiting and waiting for somebody to show up, I cringe because, you know, it may not be the most perfect person that shows up each time, but each person who shows up is there for a reason. They're there to help you grow and expand and to be the person you're supposed to be when that one person comes along. See where I'm going? So please, you need to get out there and date. They will be along. You will not be alone for the rest of your natural life. Promise. Okay? Okay, everyone. So thank you very much for sending your question. And if you want to send me one, remember, amore@agelessknowledge.com. Initials, question. You never hear from me. No newsletter, no nothing. No problem. So just send me. It's free, guys. I like free. Okay. Coming up, the magical item of the week. Now, a lot of times, I want to talk about Moldavite. Now, Moldavite is a stone, and I grabbed my necklace because a lot of times I put Moldavite in my necklace. And surprisingly, this time I don't have it. I have, what do I have? I don't even know. Bloodstone, citrine, and tanzanite. I kept thinking transvestite, and obviously this is not a transvestite. Tanzanite is what the top one is, but a lot of times it is a Moldavite. I have two Moldavites. There's one Moldavite, and there's the other Moldavite. This is the one that's usually in my necklace. This one used to sit by my bedside all the time. But Moldavite, which is found in Czechoslovakia, and it's a type of teakite. It's not from the earth. It's from out there someplace. And it is a very powerful energy stone. You match it with a quartz. You put a Moldavite and a quartz together, and you've got some super powerful energy going on. And just the Moldavite alone has strong energy. Not a lot of people can wear it for long periods of time. A lot of people complain that, say they have an pendant, it burns their chest. They get real edgy. It's like they've had too much caffeine. If you put it in your bedroom, you don't sleep. For the most part, a lot of up and down, and in a very heightened dream state. That's why I say the stone sometimes is in my room. It used to be in my room all the time. And then I decided I would like to actually sleep, so I took it out. But Moldavite is absolutely fantastic, strong energy. It's a stone of change. It pushes you to change. It brings change to you. And since we're all supposed to be changing and evolving, and sometimes we get stuck in a rut and we don't move very far, the Moldavite is excellent to make things happen. It helps with OBE travels, OBE sex, with astral, dream, and telepathic connections, and telepathic dream and astral sex. It helps you connect to other worlds. Because as you know, we are not the only ones here. Can you imagine if the humans were the only creatures in the universe? How boring. God would really have a sense of humor then, wouldn't he? But it helps us connect to other worldly beings. Other worldly beings, actually. We connect to them, we connect to their planet, to their space, to their dimension. It's not just in this dimension. The Moldavite helps to connect you to other dimensions. It can help you connect to every facet of the universe, depending on how far along you are spiritually, like what level of energy you're currently at, is basically how far you can go. If you're just starting out, then you just get to so far in the universe connecting to people. If you're, one on your last trips to Earth as a human, you're going to get further out with a Moldavite. It all depends, but it's a wonderful, wonderful stone. Not only connect to other beings, but also to your higher self. It's a stone of messages. It gives you messages. It gives you messages from the other worlds. It gives you messages from your higher self. It does not give you messages from guides and angels. Just your higher self and otherworldly beings. Okay. A lot of times when a person gets a stone, they like to clean it with salt to rub off any impurities, any negative energy from the outside sources that might have touched stone. With a Moldavite, you do not. With a big N-O-T, do not immerse a Moldavite in salt. It's not that strong of a stone, hardness-wise. You'll hurt the stone, you'll ruin the stone, don't do it. If you want to help purify the Moldavite, you can stick it in the full moonlight for a couple of days, stick it in the sunlight for a few days. I personally, and of course I don't have it up there. My big quartz crystal thing that I usually have behind me, cluster. If you stick a stone on a quartz cluster or a large quartz, what if I have one? Not within my hand, not within my reach. Or a big quartz, and stick the stone on that for a few days, the quartz will clean the stone. So that's how you want to do with the Moldavite. You can also run it under cold water and then wipe it with a white cloth. So those are different ways, but don't use the salt. But Moldavite, it's a really flippin' awesome stone. It's expensive, I'm not gonna lie. I think this little puppy cost me $40-something, and believe it or not, the big one, there was a place that was going out of business. So I actually got this for like $15. It should have been more like $80 or $90. So it was good for me. I was sad to see them go out of business, but I was happy I was able to get the Moldavite at a decent price. See if anything you need to know else about Moldavite. No, that should be it. It's a kick-ass stone. And if you'd like to do OBE travels, if you want to visit otherworldly beings and places, I highly recommend doing it. Wear it a little bit at a time. First day wear it maybe half the day, then take it off. If you take it into your bedroom, put it next to your bed, be prepared for a lot of dreaming. A ton of dreaming. You may not remember all the dreams, but you will not wake up rested. It is very important that you understand that, okay? So that's Moldavite. Now, topics for next week. Normally I have something written down here, but I forgot. Something else on my list I forgot to do. God, I can't wait till my brain's back. So what should I talk about next week? Let's see. Let's talk about lucid dreaming. I love lucid dreaming. So we'll talk about lucid dreaming next week. And for the magical item of the week, lavender. There we go. Lucid dreaming and lavender will be the topics next week. That'll work. That sounds pretty awesome. Okay, so don't forget, I've got the Dream Sex class coming up and also the virtual party. And at the end of November, we have the Advanced Magic class. The Advanced Magic class is going to be a blast. Not only is it recorded, but you get to ask me questions, and you get a little PDF that you can hold on to and refer back to. So, I mean, it's good times. Good times noodle salad. If you know what movie that came from, let me know. I know the movie, but I don't know if you do. Anyways, the affirmation of the week. Let's go. The affirmation I put for this week is because of Sandy. Superstorm Sandy. And the things I keep hearing from people, you would think there'd be a lot of love and understanding pouring out. And from a lot of places there are. But I'm hearing a lot of dislike and hate and blame. Let's see, who are they blaming? I've heard them blaming gay people for the storm. I've heard them blaming Obama. I know he is the most powerful man technically in the United States, but I don't think he can, produce a storm. What else have I heard? Oh, that the people of Jersey suck, and that's why they got the storm. New York needed a cleansing, and it had too many horrible people. That's why they got the storm. West Virginia, who the hell cares about West Virginia? They can go ahead and freeze. I mean, these are different things I've heard, and I cannot believe that people say that. Hey, we're all human. We're all going through this together. So this is why I made the affirmation. So hopefully a little bit of love and peace will go around. I am a vessel for forgiveness, understanding, and compassion. I'll repeat it again. I am a vessel for forgiveness, understanding, and compassion. Say that several times a day between now and when I do the next Amore with Allie next week, and you'll be good to go. So thank you for stopping by and for watching Amore with Allie. Until next time, keep loving, keep living, and keep laughing. Take care of yourselves. Bye.